Doesn't come through on my side yet.
Okay, let's see. It's going through on my side. It's in.
Everything good on your side, Mariette?
Looks like it.
Okay, cool. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Leanie. I'm from South Africa and I've got the channel Independence Yarn Crafts. And today is episode 23 of the Surplus Yarn Stories. Thank you to everybody that's here. I'm going to hand over to Mariette to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channels. It's so nice of you to join us. So happy to be here. And yes, as you can see, we have a guest and we've been looking forward to today. Well, I have been looking forward to today all week. And like earlier, when I was sitting here, I was so excited. I just couldn't wait. So I'm so happy to be here. I'm gonna keep over to Marta, and she can introduce herself. She also has a podcast. And welcome, Marta.
Hi, thank you for that introduction. I'm so happy to be here today, Leanie and Mariette. Thank you for asking me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marta. I live on the east coast of Scotland. I'm a crochet designer. I crochet and I knit, but I don't design and knitting. I just do that for fun. So I do have a few knitting things with me today, but crochet is my main love. And I only design in crochet. So I have many patterns on Ravelry. I have had a pattern in Inside Crochet, and over here in Scotland there's the Journal of Scottish Yarns, which is a lovely publication that promotes the use of Scottish yarn. So I've had a few patterns in that, and most recently I have a pattern in Mariette, which I am really happy about. Yeah, that's the latest issue coming out. Issue 6 is available for pre-order, and I am just delighted to have a pattern in that. It's for a jumper, a sweater, and so that's coming up in issue 6 of Mariette, which is an independent crochet magazine for anyone who hasn't come across it yet. There, how's that for an introduction? Would that do for now?
That's an awesome introduction and congrats on the Murat
Thank you.
pattern.
I had to keep that secret for so long. It was really hard.
I can just imagine. Just a quick shout out to Rosemary and Suzette. Hi.
Hi.
And Anita also joined. Hi, Anita. Okay. So we had a quick discussion before we started, and because I know we got quite a few projects to look at, I think we can start with some finished objects. Mariette, if you'd like to go first.
I will quickly go first.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, let me just make you big. I selected the wrong one now.
there we go.
Here you go.
So, in the previous episode, I just started this pot holder and I finished it.
Awesome. I love those stripes.
Yes, thank you. So this is the leftovers pot holder. It is linked in the Scrappy bundle, the surplus project bundle, pattern inspiration bundle. And I started this one, but I think afterwards I realized I think this first color is actually 4-ply and not double knit yarn as the rest. And I did try to do some invisible joining or jogless stripes of some sort, but that didn't go exactly as planned. And I got an extra stitch or two, but we don't talk about that. So it's a little bit wonky, but it's still fine. I love the stripes, and yeah, it's a little bit small, I think, if I look at my hand. But yeah, I think it's because of this problem of 4-ply yarn, and I made the next one I'm making a little bit bigger. But yes, ready to go to the kitchen and get some work. I did it with a 4mm crochet hook, and the yarn is our Premier, the discontinued mercerized cotton yarn. Supposed to be double knit, but as you heard, a little bit of a blend, but it'll still work fine. So yes, very, very excited about it. I did make a note. I used 38 grams of yarn for this one, and I'm going to practice this joining a little bit more because you actually work in the round, but because I'm doing stripes, that is going to have a natural jog. So I thought I'll try something, but we shall see. In the next one, I might have a better join. It'll still work fine. So that's my finished project for this episode.
Thank you, Marie. Just on the joggers stripes, and I think actually Marta will know a little bit better, but do you finish the last stitch of the previous round in your new color, or do you only start with the new color in the new round?
Well, the method
Okay.
I used was a little bit new to me, so I wouldn't really know. I just tried whatever the video said of picking up a front bar and doing it at the back, and I don't know. I've got no idea.
Okay.
If Marta has better suggestions, she can throw them my way because I would love to hear them.
Oh, I wish I did. I don't.
Okay. If I find something out, I'll share. But for now, it's not good yet.
Now I find it if you finish, and that's actually a technique that I learned from oh, now I'm struggling to remember the name. The mosaic crochet queen, I want to call her. Yeah, you finish the last stitch of the previous row. You finish with the new color. Then you don't have that big step up for some reason. I don't know why, but it works. So
All right,
yeah,
I will try that. Thank you.
thank you. Suzette is celebrating the pot holders. Agree. It's great. It's great gifts as well. Yeah. So we're now going to hand over to Marta to show us a few finished objects.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
Did you restrict
But
me to a number?
just before you start, Martha, just share with us your sweater, please, because that is also a great surplus project.
This one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is, if I stand up, this is the sea glass sweater. It's a pattern by Wool and Pine Designs. I bought it on Ravelry. It's a knitted design. Started the yoke, worked down, sleeve split, and the sleeves are worked in the round. I did the cuffs alternate colours. For the joins, I used for the first time Magic Knot, which I had not tried ever before, and it does seem to be working. If I come in a bit, you can see I've hidden all the knots on the inside, so they're all hidden, and it's been through the wash. I have worn it and worn it and worn it, and other than the bits that the puppy has, I have a puppy, a 3-month-old puppy. The puppy has pulled some bits, like here, and it's come through. But overall, I would recommend Magic Knot if you haven't tried it before.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
Yeah, brilliant project for using up all those bits and bobs. I mean, some ends were only that size, some were, little balls that size. Everything went in. It's double knit. Yes, it's double knitting. Yeah.
Okay. I know it's also you also get a crochet version now. I'm not sure which was first. Of the seagrass
Ooh,
sweater. There's a
I did
crochet
not know
think
version
that.
as well.
I
Yes.
I'd
think
love
the
to see
knitted
that.
one was first, and then the crochet one came out.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
News to
Yeah.
me. Need to check it
All
out.
right. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I wore it deliberately. I do wear it a lot anyway. But yeah, I thought perfect for today, right?
Yes.
So I
Thank
have
you.
brought with me a wee selection of various things that use up surplus yarn, scrappy yarn, whatever you want to call it. The first one's a pair of socks, and these are just shorty socks. That way around. There we go. If I put it on my hand, you'll get a better idea. there like that. It's a beautiful design. It was leftovers, pink and the purple, so it probably doesn't show off the stitches as best it could, but it was just an example of a way to just use up oddments, because there's not much weight in this at all. It's a pattern by Ron Strong. I couldn't tell you which one. It is in his book, Step Into Socks, if you have seen or heard of that book. You can get it individually on Ravelry as well. That's a pattern by Ron Strong, who's written a lot of crochet sock patterns. So I thought I'd start with that.
Those are really cute.
They are cute, yeah.
Oh.
Socks are a brilliant one for scrap yarn. Next, I have a pencil case. And this used up leftover cotton that I had. It's in 4-ply, it's 2 granny squares, sewn together, and then all together. So crocheted around, and it's actually got a zipper. So that was a really cute weekend project. Love it. Cannot remember the designer. Sorry. And I know I didn't buy it on Ravelry, so I can't even check. I made it a few years ago. I use it for my pencils all the time. I did line it. I was quite impressed I managed to line it. But yeah, so there's all sorts of things. There's another one. This one you'll love. I made a doll. End of last year I made her in her little boots and leftover yarn for her hair. Everything in it was just yarn I had in the house. It was all kind of, what have I got, what can I use? Even I raided my button jar for the eyes instead of putting in safety eyes. I knitted her scarf. Pattern, who's this pattern by? Susie Johns, I think. And I got it in a book. So the pattern was in My Crochet Doll book by Susie Johns. Just love her little boots.
So
She's cute.
Yeah. Her trousers come off and everything. It's all... Yeah, she was fun. So dolls are another one. If you've got little bits and bobs, you can just crochet up, mix and match, see what you've got, grab some colours, see what works, and very soon you've got a doll.
And
So
you do have project pages on Ravelry for all of these, Marta?
No, I've kind of fallen behind a bit with Ravelry.
Oh, okay. No worries.
No, I did used to keep it up, and then I just fell behind. I've started to put things up again this year, so maybe I can stick to that habit. Yeah. Everything, you have to scroll back a bit, but everything is on my Instagram if you were looking for more details. On Instagram, I'm just marta.mitchell.design. So, yeah. So the next one's a knitted one. And it's actually my own design in knitting. I did this in lockdown. And it's a large, very large shawl. And I did a magic knot ball for this one. And I needle felted the joins. So I've actually got a, or do I? I think if I have a YouTube video on it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm imagining it. I just got the 2 ends, see they're like this, and I popped them together, gave them a twist, and then I got my needle felting tool on my needle felting mat and just jabbed it and rolled it and jabbed it and rolled it to get all the joints. And that secured them brilliantly. It does give you a little lump. Let's see if I can find some. But I quite like that as a feature on this. Like, here's one. See where that's joined?
Yes.
But yeah, I decided just to make those features. I was happy with them. And I think I would use that method again. It was fairly slow. So I did tend, rather than knitting a little bit and then adding a colour, I did make a ball. So that then when I came to knitting, it was just knit, 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 knit until that ran out, which worked quite well. I think if you were to knit and then be joining every few minutes, it would probably drive you crazy. But if you sort of treated it like 2 different crafts, one of them was me. Sorry, I've got lip balm on and I have fluff on my lips. Knitter's problems, crocheters problems, right? So that's how I did it. So I treated it like making the ball of wool was one thing, and then knitting it was a separate thing. I didn't write up a pattern for this or anything. I just came up with it on the spot. It's 4 panels. I believe it's a triangle, and I started at the point with 3 stitches or something, and then on the sides I increased. I think I just did a yarn over at each new edge. I did a yarn over to increase and make a triangle, but then when I started the second one, I went into the other one, kind of like you're knitting a mitered square blanket or something. I guess I picked up as I knitted rather than knitting 4 triangles and sewing them together, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's how I did it. But I just did it for fun. Yeah, it was a lockdown thing. I just kind of enjoyed the freedom of making without having to write anything down. But if anyone is interested in making something similar, that is approximately what I did until I got it the size I wanted with the magic knot join. I really like it. It's just knit as well, so it's, what do you call that? Is it garter? Garter stitch? See, I'm not really a knitter. Definitely not. But yeah, this is one of my favourite things. I was going to say something else on it there. Can't remember what it was.
What's the yarn weight, Marta, that you mentioned?
That was it. The yarn weight. That is exactly what I was going to say. It is double knitting. In some cases, I put 2 pieces of 4-ply together, sock wool. So sometimes I doubled up sock wool to give a slightly different effect. Maybe somewhere in here. But mostly,
stunning. And what needle size did you use? Because the drape is nice. I like it.
I think maybe a 4.5.
Okay.
Maybe. I would say probably a 4.5. I use straight needles, I know that, because at the time I knitted this, I was terrified of circulars. So when I ran out of space on my straight needles, that's when it was time to stop each end. You can imagine all these bunched up. So that is that one. I have 2 crochet blankets. I've saved these for last. They are both my own patterns, and the good news, if you're watching and you're a crocheter, they are both free patterns on my blog. This one is Scrappy Blanket number 2, and the next one I'll show you is Scrappy Blanket number 3. They're not very imaginatively named, but I'll come right back.
Wow, that's stunning.
It's quite big. It's a good size lap blanket. So this one's done in a wavy stitch in 4-ply or fingering or a sock weight, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really have a right side and a wrong side. Both of them look good. There's some puffs in it. And yeah, for the joins on this one, I just stopped and started and sewed the ends in. And I think I do have a YouTube tutorial showing exactly how I did that and did these joins. So I'm just trying out different things on these different scrappy blankets, different ways of joining, see what I like. That worked quite well for this one.
And that pattern is also actually linked in our suggested patterns.
Brilliant.
For today.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So if you find that one, you'll find there are 3 blankets that are free altogether. So if you were just to find my blog and then search Scrappy Blanket, you'll find them all. And then this is Scrappy Blanket 3, which is even bigger. I'll come back.
Cool. What is that stitch called? Oh, let me just keep quiet to let you talk.
That's okay. This one, yeah, it's free pattern, so I don't mind saying. So on one row, you're doing 5 trebles, 5 double crochet in UK terms. I'll give you that in US in a minute. So you're doing 5 trebles, 5 double crochets, and then on your next one, you're doing 5 double crochets, 5 trebles. Let's see if I can find a row that really, here we go. If you look at these ones, that shows it up.
Yes.
So you're working a treble into a double crochet for 5, and then a double crochet into 5 trebles. or if you're doing US terms, that
Yeah.
would be 5 double crochets into 5 single crochets, and then the opposite, 5 single crochets into 5 double crochets. I think I've got that the right way around. But yeah.
That's
So this
cool.
one has the option, it is a free one, and I have given it the free size for using double knitting, and for I think one size, I think it's the lap sort of size. And then if you upgrade to the paid one, you can get all the sizes from pram, cot, throw, single bed, double bed, plus all the different yarn thicknesses. So I've given it for 4-ply, double knitting, Aran and chunky, I believe. And then all the video tutorials as well are on the paid for one. But if you want the basic one, you know what you're doing. It's free on my blog, and you can just dive into that. Oh, thank you,
So
Rosemary.
you've put in quite a bit of effort into those patterns then, eh?
Say that again?
So that's quite a bit of effort that went into doing all those calculations and the
Yeah, that's why I
tutorials.
added that as the paid one. You know, if you want all that stuff, yeah, you can get the paid one. But if you're a crocheter and you can work that out for yourself, then just go for it. Totally up to you. Yeah. So those are my favourite little projects that I found around the house. A lot of my things are gifted. I do knit with surplus yarn and crochet with surplus yarn all the time. I use up everything. Definitely.
Do you want me to share the photo of the printer ink scarf now?
Okay. Yeah, that's one I don't have because I gifted it. Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
I think it's beautiful. Let me just press all the buttons
Thank you.
here.
There we go.
There we go.
So that one is made with 12 10-gram mini skeins. So you could just use whatever you had in your stash if you wanted, or if you maybe had an advent calendar or something, you could use those. And the colours change. If you can see it on that front panel, see the purple and the green, you just kind of do a bit of purple and then start the new colour and then go back into the purple and then the green takes off, and that's how all the little colour changes happen in that one. There's a bit of the new colour, then back to the old colour, and then you're into the new colour. And then I bordered it, and yeah, it's quite a nice little pattern. It's very light and airy. So yeah, another good one if you've got some leftover yarn, like I say.
This one is awesome. Love the technique you used.
Yeah, just a bit different from a cold change. Yeah.
God, let's see. Mariette, can you hear us?
Yes.
So I'm just checking. Rosemary's, sorry, Anita is saying she likes the scarf for leftover yarns.
Thank you.
Yes. Done. Okay. So we're on to whips, and Mariette, would you like to go first on whips?
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So the first whip is, still a little bit undecided on what to do. But it's the mittens that I made with the yarn swap yarn. So previously I just had to do the ribbing, and I think I mentioned I kept the same needle size, the 2.5 that I did for the knitting of the mitten for the ribbing, and it was too loose. So I went down one needle size and I did 2.25 for the ribbing, and that worked out very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I must still do thumbs and decide on the little top that I want to make. Yes. Now this is done with some sock yarn that Leanie and I swapped last year in December. And that is the mittens. So
Cute.
Lovely.
They're nice and bright. I love that. Okay, so do you want me to continue and just go on?
Um, I think you can carry on, Mariette.
Oh, so
It makes
as
my
I
life
mentioned,
easier not having to swap around on the videos.
good. So as I mentioned, I want to improve on this join thing. I've already started another one. I couldn't help myself. So I've got quite a little bit of a size difference. I'm still using a 4mm hook, and this is also the leftover spot holder. It will be linked down below. It's a free pattern on Ravelry that you can download. But this is my size difference. Maybe I must do it that way. With only 5 stitches more, and it's quite bigger. But I like that. It should be bigger. I was trying to get it bigger. And then I just before we started, I asked for some help, and I think I'm going to use these 3 colors. So this middle one is a leftover from Al Premier double knit yarn that's discontinued. This is some Moya double knit yarn. It's in the colorway Topaz. It's left over from my first ranunculus that I made. And then this is the Raisa double knit cotton yarn, 100% cotton yarn that we get here at in Krugersdorp at New Cayo Bazaar. I got this. So yes, I think that will be a nice combo. Something that I forgot to mention in the pot holder is that the one amazing thing about this pattern, because the pot holder turns onto itself, is that you can just secure the tails and leave them right inside and just sew it up. I love that. I didn't have to weave any tails. You just make sure that it's knotted properly so that it doesn't come out, and you just sew it up, and they can all stay in there. That's amazing. I love that one.
Yeah, love it.
I even, when you use the yarn like I did in this one, I started with one color and did some stripes and carried on. You can just carry it in the inside. So you can make more stripes without extra ends. Just stay inside. They're hidden. Perfect. Love that. So yes, that is my second project. And then the last one is only the Battenberg. I don't know. I actually made a few notes. Let me check the notes because I tried to work out how far I am at this stage. And I'm currently 63% done with the blanket. So that is nice to know. And then I think I added 42 squares for February.
Wow, well done it.
There, my squeaky chair. Let me stand up. So previously I was on this side. I finished a row, and then for this month I've added almost 3 rows.
Wow.
So I finished the grey, and then I added the 2 rows in the new main color because I'm switching my main color every 2 rows, and it's quite big.
Sure.
I'm not long enough. So yes, I'm very, very happy with the progress of this one this month.
Yeah, you
I'm
should be.
seeing the end, and I'm enjoying it so much. Actually, it's strange. The moment I decided I'm not going to just do one block. If I want to do more, then I'll just do more. And now I can't seem to put the needles down because, as you can see, if you may be new, we're doing this as a make along for 2 years. But I'm different because the Battenberg is not knitted; it's actually crocheted. It's a free pattern by Sandra Paul. But you'll see the crochet versions a little bit later on. But I'm knitting mine, so it takes quite a little bit more time. But yes, I'm very, very excited about a blanket. It's getting there. I have how many blocks to go, squares? I have now finished 267, and I have 420 blocks, so that gives me what? I can't do math so quickly. So that gives me 153 that's left. So that's
Wow.
not too bad. Very, very happy. Very happy.
No, well done
What
it.
I don't know. It's done in double knit yarns from the stash, acrylics and blends, and I'm knitting on 3.5 millimeter needles. And I crochet them together with a 3.5 millimeter hook, for which I made a tutorial, by the way. It's on my channel. I did do that at last, and I posted that. So I think that's everything for the Battenberg. Very happy, very excited about it.
Yay.
Excellent. Okay. So now I'm going to put Marta on the big screen. There we go.
Okay,
So
I have 3 whips. Would you like to see the Battenberg first or last?
whatever makes you happy.
Doesn't matter.
Or in the middle? I'll tell you what, there's a knitting project on the top, so I'm going to pull that first. I said I only had 2 whips, but I actually have 3. And this is one. This is the Hexi-Puff blanket, which has been sitting on the back of my sofa, but I have not finished sewing all these ends because I haven't decided if I'm going to make it bigger or not. So it might get bigger. It's currently small throw size, it's probably square. And for those of you who don't know, the Hexi-Puff blanket is a pattern by Tiny Owl Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And these little hexagons, this heart's upside down. I put the hearts in all directions. So this one, depending what way around you are, would be upside down. These little hexagons are actually stuffed. It's a bit like starting a sock and then finishing a sock, if that makes sense. And it's actually got the pattern comes with a crochet cast on, which I'd never done before. So it starts with a crochet cast on, and then it's just got how did I bind it off? I really can't remember. I'd have to look at it again. It's maybe a crochet bind off. Because at the time I thought I might, this is the other reason it's not finished, I might add a crochet border to it. Kind of a frilly thing I was thinking. And just pick up these crochet bits, just work into the edge here, and then you'd be into this crochet edge. So I'm undecided. This is why I've still got ends. Do I make it bigger? Do I make it for a bed? I don't know. But like the Battenberg, this is one of those projects that, sorry, train. Sorry, high-speed train went past. One of those projects that will take you ages. I have spent over a year on this, but I haven't touched it for a good 18 months or so. But it is a brilliant little project for using up. This is sock yarn. I believe I used a 3.5 millimeter hook, and the hearts are all done with Swiss darning. If you haven't come across that before, that's where you just get a tapestry needle at the end and sort of cross stitch in your hearts. So that's not knitted in, it's just cross stitched in. I made them all kind of different sizes. Here's a smaller one. I just like the hearts kind of here and there as well.
Yeah, that's cute.
It's such a cozy thing. I think I might make it bigger and then I can put it over my bed. Now I've pulled it out and showing you, I'm like, yeah, I might go bigger. Finish the Battenberg. I'll finish the Battenberg first, ladies, okay? Promise. But yeah, this might be something I pick up again. It's actually the second one I've made. I made my first one in double knit, and that's on my son's bed. And he loves it. He's always got it over the bed anytime you're in. He's either sitting on top of it if it's warmer weather, or he's cozied under it if you're...
And I believe it have some weight to it, Martha?
Yeah. So these are
So
stuffed,
that'll
some of them are, yeah.
Oh.
These are stuffed with either scrap yarn. So some of them are just stuffed with, you know, I would collect, if I cut off, you know, bits like this, I put them all in a jar beside me. So some of these are just stuffed with yarn, and some of them are stuffed with just a bit of stuffing from an old cushion. So yeah, it's quite heavy, not too heavy, but yeah, it's definitely a quilt. I think it's called a Hexie Puff quilt rather than a blanket. So yeah, it's cozy.
Stunning.
Love that project. Yeah, you've just made me feel all the joy about it again, picking it up there. Battenberg will come in a minute. I've just moved it to get the other crochet project which I have on the go. This has had a bit of love this week. Sorry, I've got entangled in a ball of yarn. It's just caught on that stitch marker.
That happens.
There we go. I am working on the Not So Granny wrap. And I've done, let's come back.
Oh, nice.
That much. This is a pattern by Joanne Scrace, who used to run the crochet project. For those of you that don't know, she has sold that business and stepped away from that at the minute, but she still has all her patterns. And this is one of her gorgeous patterns, the Not So Granny wrap. I'm working it in lace weight, which is why it's got this. I've gone from that heavy blanket to this lightweight. How much? Yeah, there's better light. Lightweight, lace weight. First time I've worked anything in lace weight. It's crocheted. I'm using a 2.5mm hook, and the yarn is leftovers from my mum, actually. I raided her stash for this one. I know the bright pink is Fibre Spates. They're, can't remember the name of the yarn, but it's Fibre Spates. 2-ply, the colour is magenta. And this one and this one are by the same indie dyer. And I think my mum's had it in her stash so long, I couldn't find them online. So I'm imagining it's either they were never online, which is maybe slightly odd, or they've gone out of business. So I don't know who. In the yarn garden, it would be a Scottish probably yarn dyer, but they don't seem to be around anymore. So this is definite surplus yarn on this one. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a slow one. If you've never worked with lace weight before, it takes a while. Probably takes me almost half an hour. It's worked in rows this week. Probably about half an hour to get from this end to this end in these tiny little stitches. So yeah, another long term. I do like a long term project. Another long term one. So I showed you some quick projects at the start, because I do like them as well in between, or even alongside if you get a bit fed up with the long term one. But long term projects like the Battenberg, as soon as I saw that, it was, I think I saw her on here, Claudia Sunbird Crochet posted that she was going to join your make along for that, and I just thought, gotta join that. A long term project, I'm in. So here is my Battenberg. Like Mariette, mine is not following the rules because my main colour is totally different. I've gone for my favourite colour, which is yellow. Love a yellow. What's the ball? Here it is. Here's the ball. I'm using paint box yarns from Lovecraft's 4-ply, and it's a 75% wool, 25% polyamide yarn. I bought 14 of these balls and I'm hoping it's going to be enough for me. If I stand up, would that work better? And you can see where I've got to on it.
That just brings me all kinds of joy to look at. It's so pretty. I also love the yellow.
Let me
So I've
just
done a lot this week. It's L shape. I don't know if I can even show that on here. You can kind of see that's the dip in the L there. It's L shape at the moment. There we go.
So what's the aim regarding the size, Marta?
So my size, I am going for a double bed size. For my bed, I'm following the pattern exactly in terms of the number of rounds on the squares. It's 4-ply yarn, sock yarn. I'm using a 3mm hook, and I am doing 37 squares down one side and 37 down the other. When I looked at my bed, I want it to go I've got a metal end on either end of my bed. That way. So it worked out when I measured it, it worked out the same to go from metal to metal at the kind of the head and the foot as the width. So I am just going to stick with that, and then it doesn't matter what way round I throw it on, does it? So that's what I'm going for. And I need 37 by 37 squares. Works out actually it's not 37 by 37. It's at 1,369. Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
I need a calculator to do that.
Yeah. I'm
You're
about
correct.
2/3 of the way through it. So I started on January 2nd, 2023, and I'm about 2/3, so I'm happy with that progress. Yeah. This week I left the ends to show, because I did share this on my latest podcast, to show that I have worked on it. All these ends are the ones I have done in the last week or so. And I'm now using my Advent Projects little minis as well. The Hobbit. I have my box of squares.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, I love them. Just laid out in a wee box. Yeah.
Very pretty.
So that's been me this week. Battenberg, that shawl, and some socks I'm knitting with brand new yarn. Yeah.
Stunning. That yellow it does amazing things. It really, every time you see it, you feel happy.
Yeah, it's a happy colour, isn't it? I do like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Claudia is confirming what you say. A blanket of
Blanket of
happiness.
Oh. Thanks, Claudia.
Okay, so now, where is mine? Goodness. So I only added 20 blocks to my blanket this month. As always, was a bit crazy. So yeah, I'm following the pattern to the T. Even the main color, I'm sticking to a plain white color. So 20 blocks added, and it's starting to look like something. Yeah. So that's mine. I don't know if we've mentioned, but this is a free pattern by Sandra Paul from Cherry Heart Crochet. And yeah, the pattern is suggesting that you use fingering weight sock yarn, leftovers, and a main color. So the one that Sandra did used white, and I decided to just stick with that because it looks awesome. And yeah, what do I need to say? I think we've said so much about the Battenberg now already. This is the third one that the viewers are seeing. I'm also using a 3mm crochet hook. The plan is to fit my queen size blanket, my queen size bed.
Wow.
I am not going to be done by the end of this year. I have made peace with that already. So yeah, that's my Battenberg. What else do I need to say?
Everyone needs to make one.
Yeah. If you got leftovers, let's do it. Oh, hello, Fluffy. Let's say hi to Fluffy quickly.
You must say hi to the people that side, baby. That side.
Hello.
See? No. I just want to give you some love. Okay, my baby. Okay. All right.
All
She was coming in and out, and I thought, let me just pick her up.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all the blocks.
Your blanket is beautiful, Leonie. I think it's also going to be stunning. It's amazing to me how different the main color makes the blanket look. I mean, Marta's is beautiful in its own way, and yours is beautiful in another way. You can maybe have a collection of Battenberg blankets with different main colors. I mean, that'll be stunning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, that's true. Anita's agreeing everybody needs to make a Battenberg. Let's make this The Battenberg Revolution. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking and I'm looking. Is it okay if we go to the pattern suggestions?
Sure.
Yes.
Cool. Let's do this. Let me just figure out all the buttons to press again. There we go. So there we go. Mariette, are you good
I'm ready. I'm
to
ready.
go?
Let me
There you
get the
go.
right information on my screen. All right. I think I've got it. Yes. So this is the Starflower blanket by Tin Can Knits. And I actually saw this posted on one of the participants of the Battenberg Make Along's Instagram feed. And I was like, I love this. I don't know what it is about hexies, but the hexagons is so pretty. And this texture inside of it is just gorgeous. So it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I don't know if I mentioned now, it's by Tin Can Knits. It's a double knit yarn weight, and I see on Ravelry that it uses a 3.25, a 3.75, and a 4.5 millimeter needles, and it's got a stroller crib and throw size. So I think that is gorgeous. There is some samples on Ravelry that's only made in one color, and that is also pretty, but I like this beautiful, colorful version more. I think it's stunning.
Yeah. Now, I must say, I think if you especially if you're into minimalism, the texture that you get from these that's just one color, that's
Yes,
going to look very beautiful.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's stunning. All right, next is the sweet shop blanket. Let me get to that one. All right. I also love this. I was so close to starting this blanket when it came out, but then I came to my senses and decided to finish the Battenberg first. So this is the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. It's also a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and it is a DK weight written with two fingering weights, yarns hold together. But I'm positive you can do anything you like with these types of patterns and just stick to the thing that you decided on. And I'm sure you can do this in a one fingering weight as well. It's just going to give you smaller squares. But I love this. It's made with a 4 millimeter knitting needles, and she's also got a baby or pet size, a lap size, throw size, and bedspread size in this blanket pattern. I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Stunning. And then,
And then we have the last one that you guys have already seen.
Yeah.
Yes. So
let's put the big one again. Martha, if you want to hold it up. There you go. Joanna, it's
I
really stunning. Love it.
it's so pretty. So I'm not gonna elaborate on it really
No, I've told
because
you all about it, I think. Thank you for
yes.
sharing.
So
Yeah, there
you
it is in its photo shoot page.
very good. So yes, all of the pattern suggestions is linked in the surplus pattern inspiration bundle on Ravelry, and it is linked down below. So if you're interested in any of those patterns, you can just pop over and find the link for it there. Yes,
Okay, thanks for
very
that, Mariette.
pleasure.
Okay. So, Martha, we didn't really talk about, personal stuff, if I can call it that. I was thinking while we still have 10 minutes left, maybe you can tell us how did you get to starting to crochet, knitting, and eventually, diving into doing crochet patterns? Maybe you can give us
Yeah,
some
that's a good
background.
question. Yeah. So I actually studied fine art at university. and I worked in clay doing big sculptures, which were then cast into with a plastic cast mold, or then cast into fiberglass with a bronze surface on. That needed. I left university with that great skill, but you needed technical help. You needed a whole studio, and I just left going, oh, what do I do with that? Shortly after that, I got married. Shortly after that, I had some children. I had 3 boys in the space of 3.5 years, so I was very busy, and I didn't really do much at all until I started to pick up crochet because my friend Gwen had just started. I thought, yeah, I'll pick up crochet. That sounds fun, something to do, when they're napping in the evening, that kind of thing. And very quickly, I just became hooked on crochet. Yeah. I probably carried on that for a few years before I entered a competition, a design competition, which I went on to win, which just gave me a real boost of confidence. And I thought, right, I'm going to start putting these patterns up on Ravelry and on my blog, and we'll see what happens from there. And I've been doing that since, I think, 2014 was when my first pattern came out. So yeah, this will be the 10th anniversary of me designing. I've only just thought that for. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started small things, hats, and a lot of scarves because they're quite easy to design. You don't really need to worry about different sizes and all that kind of thing. And then last year I took a pattern grading course for garments, and that's just really grown my repertoire now of the things that I can design. I'm really pleased to be into garments, so planning another one some point this year. Yeah.
Very nice.
So baby steps.
Yeah. Just build on each thing as it comes along. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for that. Mariette?
I wanted to ask, so did you learn to knit after you learned to crochet or before?
That's a good question, and the answer is before and after. So many people taught me in my life how to knit, and I was just telling someone the other day, an actual real person conversation about how I got thrown out of the knitting group in school because I was constantly at the teacher like, oh, drop stitches, what have I done? It's all a mess. And she threw me out the knitting group. I so wish I could bump into her now and show her like that shawl I showed you guys. I got there.
I did.
It eventually made sense. And then I dabbled. I did actually knit when my second baby was born. I knit when I was pregnant. I did knit him a baby blanket, but that was just like a one-off thing, and I didn't really get into it at all. And then crochet was after that, obviously. And then I took up knitting again probably 6-7 years ago, something like that. I just colour work was what pulled me into it. I love to knit Fair Isle style knitting with the 2 colours. Shetland's not too far away from me. It's a bit of a distance, but we've got the lovely Shetland wool here and those Fair Isle patterns, and I love a bit of that. So that was what I wanted to get into with knitting, which you can. I know that Claudia, Sunbird Crochet, is watching. She does like to take a knitting chart and make it into crochet, and she's brilliant at it. It works really well. So yeah, it's the colour work that really drew me because I love colour. That's what made me want to knit.
I must say, I cannot remember the pattern's name of the socks you were doing for Vlogmas, but I really was inspired by those. It was a Christmas landscape on the sock.
It was, yeah. That was the Winter Wonderland socks, and the pattern was. I nearly brought it because that was a surplus yarn project. The pattern was from Devon with Love, but yeah, I used some leftover for the cuff, just some yarn I happened to have for the main sock, and then some leftover for the popped snow bits. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so I see it's time to start saying goodbye, unfortunately. Time really flies when you're having fun. We've been at it for almost an hour already.
Already.
So, yes. So, from my side, Martha, thank you very much for joining us. We were really looking forward to having you on, and you did not disappoint. Thank you very much. It was amazing. We
Thank you.
really,
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been good. Yeah, glad to
yes.
have been on.
And then I'm going to start saying goodbye and say goodbye to the viewers. Thank you for watching. And we hope to see you again next month. Then, Martha, I'm going to hand over to you to say goodbye, and then Mariette will close off for us.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, thank you again for inviting me. It's been really special this afternoon. I love watching what yourself, Leanie, and Mariette do with all those little leftovers. It's always an inspiration, and I'm glad to have met you through the Battenberg project. So thank you very much. I'm glad to have you as part of my yarn community and everyone else that you've introduced me to through that as well. So I do love being part of this community. And yeah, thank you again. And thank you to all my viewers who have tuned in. I noticed there were quite a few had turned the notifications on Instagram. So thank you if you have stumbled across this channel, and Leanie and Mariette through that too. Okay, so goodbye from Scotland.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your time. It was a lot of fun. We missed Lachlan a little bit. I'm not sure if I
He's still
pronounced that.
sleeping. Despite my loud voice, he has slept through.
Shame. But if you are interested, you can go check out Martha's YouTube channel. It is linked down below. And she has introduced the puppy in some of her podcast episodes, and it's very cute. Very cute. So I just wanted to also mention that Martha's channel is linked down below and all of that. And yes, as everybody came to join us, thank you so much for coming. We'll see you again next month, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, everyone.